Kia ora, this is Arun Jacob, your friendly and frank licensed New Zealand immigration advisor as well as education advisor, coming live once again on a Monday from Hamilton, New Zealand. As you guys can see, the lights are out and it's all very festive and Christmas seasony here in New Zealand and I guess everywhere across the world, really. So I have my own little decorations on the background and I also have my little white Christmas inside that glass box there. So that's all sitting on my table at the moment. Yeah, it's a nice part of the year when we all feel happy and joyful, and yeah, it's all kind of coming together rather well for us and everybody else here in Team HEV, including our fantastic clients. I'm coming live today, as always, on Facebook, on our Facebook page, but it will also get shared to my life, my personal ID, as well as our group called NZ Options. Plus, I'm coming live on Instagram as well, as always. So, big warm welcome to my Instagram friends, to my Facebook friends, and of course, I'm coming live on YouTube. Two channels. I'm coming live on my channel, which is called Arun Jacob, and I'm also coming live on AJV Global official channel. Like we start every week, going to start by showing my license there. There we are. Yeah, that seems to be a better angle. I had this little studio light on top of me, and which is probably why you guys have seen that the quality of the videos has gone up a little bit. So anyhow, that's my license issued by the Immigration Advisors Authority of New Zealand. It's a government agency which licenses people like myself to provide immigration advice to those who are seeking to come into New Zealand on a temporary or on a more permanent basis. So that's what it's been. What's been happening in my life over the last few days? Well, nothing much. Very hectic, guys. I thought as we're coming closer to Christmas and New Year, things would ease off and I'd actually be able to catch a bit of a breather. But for some strange reason, this year it has been becoming more and more hectic, really. And in fact, last week I went to Auckland along with my senior colleague Mary, who is also a licensed immigration advisor and heads pretty much all operations here in Auckland, sorry, in New Zealand. So she and I went to meet our good friends at AOT. So last time I showed you this water bottle from AIS, and this time I'm showing you this wonderful little gift we received from AOT, and it was very well wrapped. And I was very curious to see what was inside. And inside was this very beautiful power bank. But more importantly than the power bank, it's important to showcase the AOT logo there. And there it is, one of the best universities in New Zealand, which stands for Auckland University of Technology, but now they call it AUT University. So that's been the transition for AUT. But yeah, I went there along with Mary last week to meet Lester Koo, who is Director International, and also Marcel Fletcher, who is the regional manager. And we had a wonderful afternoon and lunch together. And I think I was very amazed with the kind of thought processes that are running inside AUT at the moment, and they try to engage deeper with partners like ourselves and also with their own students and introduce more and more new things so that it gives the best outcomes for the students. And the campus is fantastic. So I strongly recommend AUT to anybody who is planning to come and study in New Zealand. So anyhow, here we go. As always, I'm backed by my wonderful team, my AJV funnel or family, who are going to support me on Skype. Yeah, we are up to almost 40 people at the moment, guys. So we are not a small team any longer. So anyhow, Ankit Wagela says, Merry Christmas to AJV. Had a wonderful trip to Napier Hastings. Thanks to AJV for introducing me to the wonderful part of the world. Oh, Ankit, you're so welcome, my friend. And so happy for you, Ankit, that you're getting out and doing the Kiwi thing, which is to travel and get to see more and more of this wonderful country we call Aotearoa or New Zealand. And I'm so glad that, some of your smart young people who pretty much have a choice to go to any country on earth choose to come to New Zealand. And I think once you come here, you really realize how lucky you are that you made New Zealand your first choice and not a backup choice, which is what a lot of students seem to think. New Zealanders, some of them tend to think that, oh, I couldn't make it to US, I couldn't make it to UK, so which is why, I mean, New Zealand is fine as a sort of like a a consolation prize. But I completely disagree with it. I think New Zealand, if anything, is actually the at the top of the line amongst all English speaking countries. And for that, you don't have to take my word. Just go to something of the Legatum Institute's Prosperity Index, which kind of measures countries on various parameters like health, infrastructure, safety, freedom, ease of doing business, so many other parameters. And New Zealand is absolutely the number one English speaking country. And I think we take the seventh or eighth spot after all the Scandinavian countries like Denmark, Norway, Sweden, etc. But in the English speaking world, we are absolutely the top desired destination, and which is why smart people like Ankit and the rest of our AGV clients who make New Zealand their first choice, I think, are actually making a very, very smart move in their life. I mean, for me as well, New Zealand was a first choice. It was not something I opted for because I could not end up living in the US or UK. So please, and I think we're getting more and more particular about kind of people we want to invite and retain here in New Zealand. So if you're smart, you have the right attitude, skills, and knowledge, most welcome to come to New Zealand. You'll love it here. So, Ankit, I'm glad you're having a good time. I hope you enjoy some of the beautiful Hawke's Bay wine as well. It's really lovely out there. I can see some of my. Tejas says Merry Christmas. Thank you, Tejas. Same to you and your family. Raim Riyaz says, hello, Arun. How you doing? Me doing very well, Raim, actually. Yeah, never felt better. I've been working out a little bit. Hopefully, you guys have seen the jolls have gone inside a little bit. Hopefully. Again, thanks to one of my wonderful colleagues and AJV students called Nicholas, who is also into fitness in a big way. So he gave me a diet plan and an exercise plan. And I've been trying very, very hard. Don't tell him, but I've been cheating just a little bit. But overall, it seems to be working. So, anyhow. Cool. Right. Shamal Parek says, after landing in New Auckland, how soon can I get AJB T-shirt? Hey, Shamal, share your. And Shamal's one of our top fans. Shamal, share your. What do you call the flight details and the date you're arriving? I will try and have somebody waiting at the airport to give you your T-shirt and your cap and your hoodie. All right. Okay. Cool. But yeah. Gaurav says, nice background lights. Merry Christmas. Thank you, Gaurav. That was the whole idea to deck it up a little bit and, make it a bit more festive and, kind of a bit more Christmassy. So, yeah, it was very cool. In fact, I almost did today's live session from outside because I went to the Seddon Park at Hamilton. That's the cricket ground here in Hamilton. And I went with my children. That's because we are now one of the sponsors in Seddon Park. One of our big boards is next to the scoreboard, digital scoreboard in Seddon Park, and by virtue of that, we've been getting some free tickets. So which I have offered to all AJV students, by the way. So if any AJV students are watching and you guys want to see some Super Smash matches here in Hamilton, just reach out to Anjana, who is your onshore coordinator and also one of our students, but she's now working for us at AJV. So, just reach out to Anjana through our AJV clients only group, and she will organize sending those tickets to you guys. All right. So thanks, Gaurav. And okay, here's the first question. It's from Anand Jagan. Right. I'll need to know if Anand Jagan is one of our students or not. And guys, the other rules of the game, as I keep saying every live session, is that if you are an AGV client, you will need to identify that. If you're not an AGV client, then please leave us your contact number, because we believe that is the least of give and take that we can do, which is I sit here and provide you free immigration advice and education advice, and the least we want from you is to be able to get your number so that we can get in touch with you and talk to you once this session is over. Going abroad, as I keep saying in practically every live session of mine, is not an easy decision. It is not an easy decision. It is not an easy decision. I will reiterate it 3 times to let you guys know that, and girls know it is not an easy decision. So one question you ask on a live session and me giving an answer does not mean you're logged into that decision. Sometimes it takes years for that decision to fructify, and it requires a fair amount of investment of money, time, and effort. So we completely understand that, and we are the last people who will push anybody into a decision. Please understand, we are advisors and not salespeople. We are not those aggressive, pushy salespeople. We are good, honest, ethical, friendly New Zealand advisors. So feel free to share your number, and then we will engage in a discussion. And like I said, sometimes these discussions can take weeks, months, years together before you actually realize your dream of being in New Zealand. But the least we want is for you to be able to share your number, so that we can get back to you. And once you speak to us, if you think we are the best advisors for you for New Zealand, come with us. If you think no, there is somebody else who is better than AJV, and you want to go with them, please go with them. But I truly, I genuinely doubt there would be anybody better than us. All right, cool. So Anand, I would really require your contact number, please, before I'm able to go on and answer your question. I think you're asking some good questions, but right. Okay. Namita Singh says, "Hi, Arun. Merry Christmas." Thanks, Namita. Same to you as well. I want to know why universities are taking so much time to offer unconditional offer. I am an AJV client. Hey, first and foremost, Namita, thank you so much for choosing to work with AJV. Yeah, we truly appreciate and we are grateful for your decision to work with us. But I mean, as you will see, going forward, I don't want to overcommit right now. But once you come into New Zealand and you meet the rest of us, and then you meet the other extended AJV family, in terms of some of the students who have already come here before and settled down, you'll see that whole networking and that mental support you have of knowing that you're an AGV client is going to be quite immense. So yeah, thanks for choosing AGV. Your question was, why are universities taking so long? I think the simple answer is because they've had a whole lot of applications. And in fact, last week, our country manager in India, Tanuva Majumdar, who actually is also an ex-immigration officer, but she's a very senior person who worked with immigration for a very long time, almost 22 odd years. So she now is the big boss of AGV in India, and so she actually gave me a list from her team saying these are all the offer letters that are pending. So there were about 10 or 12 different institutions. So I actually sat down and wrote a personal email to each and every one of those universities and other institutions, and most of them replied back saying that they are going to prioritize our applications. But most of them also had a common thing to say, which is that they've received an abnormal number of applications, because of which it's taking a little longer to process. So yeah, be patient, Namita. We are doing our best. As I told you, I have myself written to the institutions, and I think everybody responded back. So, and then I flipped it back to the team in India, and they're now pushing for the decision again. All right, all good. Okay, right. Okay, Namita, I also got feedback from Aniket, who I believe is your current advisor inside AGB, and he says that he followed it up today with the local representative of the University of Waikato in India, a gentleman called Ashish. And yeah, for the unconditional. And apparently, Ashish told Aniket that it will definitely be out this week. All right, Namita. So we are doing everything that we can to ensure that your offer is out. And hopefully, you'll also realize how well we work together as a network team. Aniket is giving me feedback as we're doing a live session, and I'm able to give you a clear, straightforward answer. All right, Namita, and hope to see you here in New Zealand soon. I believe you're married to a lovely young man called Kunal Singh. So looking forward to meeting, both Kunal and Namita here in New Zealand soon. Okay, Namita. Cool. Getting on, Raim Riaz. Hi, Mr. Arun. Hope you're doing well. Yes, Raim, very well indeed. Yeah, couldn't be better. Right. As per your advice, I chose PG Diploma in Telecom at University of Otago, but unfortunately, they have declined my admission due to my bachelor's degree CGPS course, and your team requested again to consider my profile based on my five years telecom radio frequency engineer work experience. But today they again rejected, and Otago admission team is asking me to go for graduate diploma course. My concern is graduate diploma courses are not related to my work experience. For example, information and communication technology, which was software-based study and jobs. Can I study PG diploma in applied management so that I can gain 3 years work permit, and during that time I can find my telecom based job? I have arranged sufficient funds even to join college, but struggling to choose the course now, and I'm planning for July intake. Kindly suggest me the best course program to study and settle in New Zealand permanently. Hey, look, Rem, I think your query is very valid because you certainly have a very good background in telecom. 5 years is, a good amount of time to spend in any particular field, any particular subject. And yeah, I'm a little not happy that University of Otago is not giving you an offer, although my team has tried twice. Ideally, they should have considered your experience. But like I said, the academics are the people. It's not the marketing team at any of these institutions that actually, does the admission process. It's the academic people. There's the lecturers and the deans and the head of departments who actually go through the transcripts that you guys provide and everything else, and they take that final call whether to admit you or not into that course. Why? Because they do not want to admit. Please understand that New Zealand universities are not some commercial entities where they will admit each and everybody who is willing to pay a fee. They are very focused on the outcomes of the students, which is number one, they want them to pass. Number two, they want to ensure that once they pass, they're also ending up in the right career, and which is why they can be a little tough sometimes in terms of producing giving an admission. I think the graduate diploma is actually not a bad idea at all, Rem, because I'll tell you why. Because if they are recommending that the graduate diploma is better for you after their analysis, probably that is the best thing for you to do, and you will still be getting 2 years of work visa because you're studying at the University of Otago, which is outside Auckland. Do not worry about the third year of work visa you will get if you do a postgraduate diploma, because you're suggesting that you want to shift into applied management just for the sake of getting that 1 year of extra work visa. According from what I can see, I think you'll be good, well enough to take up the graduate diploma because it will not be at such a high level as a PG dip, which will tax your brain unnecessarily. In fact, it might be a better option for you to do this graduate diploma and quickly, come out successfully and come out with a good score as well. And you're still going to get a 2 years work visa. And with your background and the kind of shortages we have in telecom at the moment, I absolutely foresee you being able to get a good job and at the right salary of 52,000 or above, and a good position, which, telecom, even if it is kind of a front line sort of a position, I think you will be able to apply for your residency within this 2 years you will have. But switching to applied diploma, a PG diploma in applied management may not be a good thing, because then Immigration New Zealand will want to see you get a job in management field, but because you're a guy who really does not have experience in management, and you'll be a fresh graduate, so to speak, I don't think it's a good idea for you to shift your course just for the sake of one extra year of work visa. I think you should stick strongly to your core subject, which is telecom, because telecom is really, really in the skill shortage here for us. I don't want you to take some kind of a diversion and get into management, because it can mess things up for you. Not that you can't seek telecom jobs based on your previous experience, and but trying to convince Immigration New Zealand that, oh, the guy came in, he did a management course, but then he got a job as a telecom guy, and now we are trying to say that he is eligible for the job because he's got a background before he came to New Zealand. It's a little tricky thing. I'm not saying it can't be done, can be done, but why is so? But immigration is never a straightforward process. So why do you want to create this unnecessary bottlenecks? I would say go for the graduate diploma. I trust my instinct. I trust what they teach at the University of Otago. I trust what the academics are recommending that you need to take up a graduate diploma level, and I trust in those 2 years you will definitely succeed and come to that point where I think you yourself will call us and say, "Hey, Arun, you were right. I got my job and I'm ready to apply for a residency, and we would gladly take you." And once you get your residency, it does not matter because then you can live in New Zealand permanently. So my recommendation to you, Rem, is do not postpone your intake. Don't shift into a postgraduate diploma in applied management just for the sake of that 1 year extra work visa, and just come for the graduate diploma at Otago, because the beautiful, beautiful university, and like I said, telecom was also booming at the moment, and I think you will do well. All right, cool. That will be my very, very sincere advice to you, Rem. Okay, yeah. Okay, I'm going on further. Quick sip of the water. Crickholic Rishikesh says, what about the career opportunities after completing Masters in Professional Accounting? Rishikesh, I would like it if you can please share your number, my friend, so that I can answer that question. All right. Cool. Moving on. Anand Jagan says, share this number. Fantastic, Anand. Thank you for sharing your number. And says, I'm already in touch with your staff, sir. Oh, even better. Oh, fantastic, Anand. And I think I got some feedback from my team, Anand, that you are asking questions regarding level 8 courses. So that's what my colleague Sajita says, with who you're in touch at the moment. And I don't know, you haven't asked a question, but unless it is somewhere at the bottom. No, there is no question at the bottom, Anand. So I think, Anand, what your questions about level 8 are, I don't know what exactly your question was, but doing a level 8 is good if you're coming as somebody who is not married. If you're doing a level 8, you would be eligible for a 3 years post-study work visa. Married people also would be eligible for a 3 years post-study work visa once you do a level 8 or 9 or 10 course. But the difference is that if married people have a spouse and they're coming for a level 8, then they can't bring the spouse on a spouse work visa. They can, of course, bring them on a visitor visa. But I'm thinking Anand looks pretty young in his profile picture on Facebook. So I'm thinking he's still single. So Anand, it's a good, very, very good idea to do a level 8 course in New Zealand, because level 8 onwards, you get a 3 years post study work visa, and the government obviously is also giving good points towards residency once you complete these courses. And yeah, the reason they're giving you a 3 years work visa is because the government wants to hold back these people who are coming at the higher level of courses. Unfortunately, I don't have details about what particular subject you're choosing, so on and so forth, but by and large we have opportunities in pretty much every field at the moment in New Zealand. So yeah, I think it's a good choice, Anand. And I think one of the other good choices you made is also to get in touch with AJB. And see, I'm sitting in Hamilton. I'm talking to you right now from New Zealand, where you guys want to be and girls want to be. I'm sitting right now in New Zealand. I came back 20 minutes back from, 30, 40 minutes back from a cricket match, which I went and saw in Seddon Park. And, so yeah, all good, Anand. I think your choices are good, including coming to AJB as well. Talking about cricket, I'm going back to the previous question from Crickolic Rishikesh, who says, "What about career opportunities after completing masters?" Because then Rishikesh goes on to add, "I'm an AJB client," after Anand's question. So, hey Rishikesh, thanks for clarifying that. You probably have realized that I'm pretty strict about catering to my AJB clients first, or if it's a non-AJB client, then we insist that the number is there so that we are able to get in touch with you and share some good information. But yeah, hey, look, Rishikesh, the scope for masters in professional accounting is good. Again, you will get a 3 years post-study work visa. You will get your ICANN's membership, which is the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Australia, New Zealand, and quite a few of our masters in professional accounting students are doing really well, and so we would gladly put you in touch with them once you land here. But overall, to answer in just few simple words, yeah, the scope for Master of Professional Accounting is pretty good in New Zealand. Okay, good choice, Rishikesh. And Thank you so much for choosing to work with AJV. Please put it all together into the same question, guys. Then otherwise, I will not think that you're a non-AJV student and skip it and move forward and that sort of thing. Okay. Syed asked me a question, but Syed does not share any details whether he is AJV client or not. I'm just reading through some of the notes from my team as well. My team has written about Gaurav, about Annie, and Sumant. Uh, okay, cool. Excellent. So I have these details of our clients. And Rishikesh, I also have news about you that you have an unconditional offer letter from Unitech, which is also a very, very good institution, by the way, and that you're still waiting, that we have sent your pending documents to AUT University and University of Waikato recently. So yeah, all three fantastic institutions. And, let's see, once you get all the three offers, you can then, take a call on which is the one that's more suited to you in terms of the city you want to live in, the budget in terms of how much you want to spend towards the course, so on and so forth. But by and large, all three of them would be fantastic. All right. Cool. I'm going to go back to Facebook now. Gaurav Kapil says, hi, I want to come for level 8 HM course. Which college should I opt for? As I heard, PIMS is really good. Okay. HM, hospitality management. Okay, got it. HM, I thought was headmaster course. I was like, you want to become a headmaster? All right. Cool. Okay, Gaurav. So you want to come to level 8 course, and you're asking me about PIMS, which, by the way, stands for Pacific Institute of Hotel Management Studies. That's what PIMS stands for. It's based in a city called New Plymouth, which is about that's that direction. It's a few hours from Hamilton. I've been there many times. A fantastic institution, no two ways about it. And so the students who are studying at PIMS are actually stay in a hotel, and the whole college and the campus behaves like a hotel, and very, very well reputed institution. And they are one of those very high quality private training establishments here in New Zealand, which are focused on only one subject, and they do it well. And I like institutions like that. It also brings to mind a few other institutions which focus on one particular subject and do it really well. So that's like AJV focuses on New Zealand and we do it really well. So that sort of a thing. So yeah, I think PIMS is definitely a good option to consider, Gaurav. And my team has just shared with me that you've already done your BSc in hotel management in 2007, and you have shared some of your documents, but some more of your documents are pending. So please go ahead and share the rest of your documents as well, so that we can initiate this process. And don't worry, even after we initiate the process, and at some point in the next few weeks or months, for whatever reason you don't want to go ahead or you want to wait for some more time, there is no pressure on you. And that's something I want to share with Gaurav and all our students who are or prospects who are listening to me right now. Please share your documents and we will get you that admission letter. And once you have that admission letter from an institution in New Zealand, you can start your bank loan process if you're looking for a bank loan. But in the event you decide the bank loan does not come through, or something else changes, some of your personal circumstances changes, or your the whole plan changes, not a problem. It's okay. At least you would be happy that you once received an admission letter from an institution in New Zealand, whether it's a university or an ITP or a private training institution. It will be something you can hold on to as a good memory, and there's no penalty from the institution. We don't, penalize you guys just because we spend some time on it. Nothing. So I'd ask everybody who's listening to me right now to work with a free heart and mind. And AJV is very, very committed to you guys and girls, and we will not do anything to create discomfort for you. So please trust us and move forward. Just get that offer letter. Who knows? Once you actually see that document in your hand with your name on it, and says university in New Zealand or some other institution, there is actually a document. You might get motivated to go and try for those funds from a bank or borrow from a family or something like that. So yeah, get the offer letter is what I would strongly recommend to you. All right, cool. So please send your documents at the earliest, Gaurav, so that we can get going. And I believe my colleague Mubaraka is in touch with you. Fantastic advisor. So please do send her the rest of your documents. Okay. Awesome. Moving on. I'm gonna catch my breath for a moment. Okay. Okay. GD Gill asked me a question, but again, no number, so I'll have to skip that. Namita says, "Thanks, Arun. You're welcome, Namita." Okay. And Rishikesh, Tricolic Rishikesh has, said that he has received unconditional offer from Unitech, and and she's also waiting for from Waikato as well as the AUT University. Like I said, Rishikesh, they're all very good university institutions. I'm obviously a little biased towards Hamilton, so maybe you need to wait for the offer from University of Waikato and come to Hamilton, because I love to have my students around here in Hamilton as much as possible, and we good opportunities here in Hamilton as well. And just from your name, I'm thinking you're a cricket player, so which means you can come and join the AJV team as well if you're in Hamilton. But otherwise, if you really don't want to wait and you want to get started, Unitech is a very good institution, and it's had fantastic outcomes, Rishikesh. So no problems with any of those. So your call really, whether you want to wait or you want to just get started. You want to don't waste any more time, just go for it. All right, cool. Okay. Viraj Chandaria gives me a number from New Zealand. Hi, Viraj. You're obviously based here in New Zealand. I'm wondering if it's Viraj, one of our clients, because we have a Viraj in our clients as well, who also plays very good cricket, by the way. Hello, sir. As per latest updates, ANSCO skill level is not going to be considered from July. I've done Masters of Business level 9. Does it mean salary is only criteria to apply for SMC residency? Pretty much, Viraj. Yeah, I think scrapping off the ANSCO, I think, is actually a good move, because sometimes, visa officers and immigration officers can get stuck in the details of what the ANSCO says, but I think somebody is beginning to see, this whole entire thing from a much broader perspective, and I think they're kind of now linking it more and more to um, the remuneration rather than the description, or because there might be a guy who's employed as a general manager but only gained everything in his thing in his job profile might also match everything that is put in ANSCO, the code, but sometimes he might not be able to maybe making the same amount of money as a programmer, for instance. So yeah, that's what is going to happen. So whenever you're ready to apply for your SMC, Viraj, I strongly recommend you give us a call. Those are our numbers. The numbers to call us in New Zealand and in India, New Zealand and India. Both the places we have a toll-free number, and I strongly recommend that you get in touch with the office, which is in your time zone. So if you're based in India, get in touch with the our Indian team on that toll-free number, which is on the board here. If you're based in New Zealand, give us a call between work hours here in New Zealand on our toll-free number 0800 696977, which stands for 0800 my NZPR. If you look at the keyboard, so yeah, that's what it is, and toll-free number in India as well. So please stick to your time zone so that you can get instant information. All right, Viraj. So give a call and get in touch with Mary, our senior manager, who sits in the Hamilton office and also a fellow licensed immigration advisor. And she'll take a look at your profile, and we will come back and let you know if you're ready to apply for residency. Okay, because you've done a master's of business, which is good. It's obviously at a nice high level. So we will compute and let you know if you're having the required number of points. Okay. Any employer asks, hi, Mr. Arun, how long will it take for the student offer letter? Annie did not mention whether she is a Nigeria client or not, but I have confirmation, Annie, from my team, Mubaraka, that you are indeed an AGV student. Thank you so much for that. And that we have applied for you at AUT for a fantastic course, brilliant course, in criminology. On the 11th of December. So today is what? Today is the 16th of December. So it's just been a few days, Andy, and as I told you, I just came back from a meeting with AUT senior people. So I know give it a couple of weeks at least, because also, as you're aware, any next week is going to be the Christmas week, so most institutions will close down, and for a few days at least. So that's the other thing. I don't know if they are kind of trying to have at least some skeleton staff to put up. Do some processing, but most likely not. So I'd say you probably will need to wait till about the 15th of January, Annie, realistically. Maybe we might get lucky and it might happen this week because AUT and most of the institutions are still open this week. So I'll ask my team to see if we can push and get your offer out this week. But in the event it doesn't happen, as I told you right at the start of this session, a lot of applications have come into all the universities. New Zealand is growing in demand like crazy year after year, so which is why the number of applications, whether it is for admissions or for visas, is really going through the roof. So hang in there, Annie, and we will do our best to get out your offer for you at the earliest. As I told you, I've just had some meetings with senior managers at IoT, and we will see what we can do for you. Okay, thank you. Right here, moving on. Namita saying, says, hoping for a positive results. And don't worry, Namita, we're talking to one of the most positive companies promoting New Zealand on earth, and we are a super solid team. Even if I sound boastful, sorry about it, guys, but I genuinely have an amazing, amazing team, and this team is like, like the acme of New Zealand education and migration advice right now. And we are already myself, Mary, Tulika, and Navya, and Shireen. So we are already five licensed advisors in the company. And in February, I think they're going to be two more. And in July, they're going to be two more. So it's like 9 or 10 licensed advisors. About five or six of them are ex-immigration officers. This old man sitting here has been around for a donkey's year, so we have a lot of experience behind us. And the best part is we are based here in New Zealand, so which means we can service you in your country, and especially after you come to New Zealand, I think we will actually hold you by your hand and walk with you. And next week, actually this week, this 21st, no, hang on, 21st, yeah, I think it was 21st, yeah, the Saturday, or Sunday, we are actually hosting a Christmas party for all our AJV students here in New Zealand. And I think it's going to be a nice, big, fun event. I hope to make it because I'm having a really, really busy schedule. In fact, I have a flight at 7 in the morning tomorrow, so which means I think I'm not going to get a lot of sleep tonight. But yeah, we're going to have so we do a lot of networking and all those sorts of things. So for all those of you who uh, you know uh, are planning to come to New Zealand through AJV, I promise you we are always there to hold you by your hand and work with you along this pathway. All right. Sumant Kapre asks, so we can ask questions here. Of course you can, Sumant. The whole reason um, of doing those live sessions is it's a Q&A, to questions and answers. So Sumant, your question is, what if one fails in course and final exam? Still, will they get work visa? No, my friend. So if you come to New Zealand and you on a student visa, and you want to get your post-study work visa, you will need to pass that course successfully. Otherwise, you will not be eligible for a work visa. Be very, very clear about that. All right? Cool. Moving on, somebody says, hello, sir, for Taton Twin. Taton Twin? No, I hope I pronounced that correct. Hello, sir, do you help visa for Africans? For why not? I mean, we work with the clients from every part of the world. And, just the other day, we were counting to see how many countries we work with clients from, and I think almost 20, 25 clients right now, including quite a few of our clients coming from Africa as well, South Africa, Uganda, Kenya. I remember, these are some of the countries from where we have already worked with clients from Africa. Yeah, we'd love to work with you as well. Although you have not shared your number, so please share your number, and we will get in touch with you and see if, what we can do for you. Shano Simon asks, is it possible to come without IELTS? Not really. You will require IELTS, Shano. And Sumant says, very good question. How can that be a good question, Sumant? Because IELTS is kind of, a mandatory thing. I mean, not so much from a administrative thing, guys, but I think also from the point of view that you're coming to an English speaking country, and this is where majority of work is all done in English. We have three official languages in New Zealand. English is, of course, the most dominant official language, and then we have Maori language, and then we have the New Zealand Sign Language. But so having an IELTS, having good English, I think I personally think I succeed well in the West because of my English ability, which I mean I was grateful to my parents and my teachers from my younger days that they put me into a good school, and my teachers taught me really well. And a lot of times, many Kiwis who I interact with say, "Wow, your English is good, Mac. Where did you learn it?" And I tell them rather proudly that is something I learned from my school days, back in India. And so English is very, very important, and that's why when you're trying to come without IELTS. If you are good in English, why would you not want to write your IELTS? So that's a simple question. But if you're going to struggle with English, then my sincere advice is don't come, because I think you will continue to struggle throughout your journey in New Zealand. All right, cool. Okay, Chetan Surya, I'm an HAV client. One of close buddy is looking for postgraduate diploma in information science, but he is having an IELTS score of 776 5.5. So is there any chance to apply for course? As per my knowledge, I told him six is minimum, but I wanted to verify with you once. Absolutely, Chetan. Thanks for interceding on behalf of your friend. And you're absolutely, if he's going to look at a postgraduate diploma, he will actually require an IELTS of 6.5 with no score less than 6 in any of the bands, which is reading, writing, speaking, listening. So yeah, absolutely. I mean, I can confirm and clarify to you that that is going to be the requirement. All right, cool. Okay, next one. Jitin Prasad. Hello, sir. My name is Jitin. I'm an HGV client. Hi, Jitin. Fantastic. You're obviously a very, very smart fellow. I have reapplied for my education visa. It's first time they rejected due to finance issue, and so wanted to know when we apply for the second time, will I get any consideration and time frame? Jitin, what's going to happen is there's no special consideration as such for people who are applying a second time, but by virtue of the fact that we have a good rapport with Immigration New Zealand, and we are able to exert a little bit of very gentle pressure sometimes and say, hey, look, it's coming to the point of no return for this young person to be in New Zealand. So we will be able to exert a little bit of pressure, and but don't worry too much. The I'm very pleased to notice. In fact, just I think a couple of days ago, I wrote an email to the head of immigration who heads the Mumbai branch, and I actually was congratulating her and saying it looks like the processing times have really, really improved dramatically from the start of the year when there was a bit of a backlog. So yeah, I think overall you should be fine, Jitin. Don't worry too much. We're here to take care of you. All right. And as and when it's getting closer to the start date, and if there's still no outcome, just put some pressure on your case officer inside AJV, and then we will, kind of try and exert some pressure onto the immigration department as well. Okay, cool. So Rem is asking me a question again and says, "Hi Arun, but graduate diploma courses are not related to my work experience. It's software developer and maintenance kind of studies. So again, it will create a problem, right, when it comes to immigration visa approval time." Okay, please advise. Rema, you know what? I will have to look at what suggestions have been made to you um, by my team. So we will discuss this. Team, please make a note of this particular case, and discuss with me after this session is done, because obviously Rem is keen to do this, but since he's not able to get into the postgraduate diploma, he's wondering what will happen. But Rem, bear in mind, a graduate diploma in software is not very dissimilar from telecom, because telecom at the end of the day is what it is, software. So it is called information and communications technology, ICT, and telecom is a subsect of this ICT really. So there isn't a problem as such. So if you do a graduate diploma in IT and then get a job in telecom, there is a clear and direct link. It is a technical subject, software which is getting into a technical job like telecom. So there will be a clear, and as a licensed immigration advisor, I can see quite clearly that we'll be able to build a case together for you. But you know what? Like I said, I'm gonna, if it is a software development course at the IT level, which is a good thing actually, because you not only have your telecom background, but then you're adding software development skill to it as well. So you now can actually seek jobs in both directions, either in telecom or you can seek a job in software development. And like I said, as a licensed immigration advisor, I can see that software and telecom are very, very closely related and practically married to each other. So immigration officers will not have a problem about that. Plus, bear in mind, both these areas, telecom as well as software, are both in the long-term skill shortage list. So, which means immigration officers will tend to give certain weightage when looking at applications like that. All right, Rem. So don't worry, buddy, and we are always a call away, practically 24/7. Once you come to New Zealand, you'll be those lucky boys and girls of AJV who will have a licensed advisor clearing your doubts all the time, which unfortunately a lot of non-AGV students keep complaining about, apparently, to the AGV students, saying, "Oh my God, you guys are so lucky that you have these people to always call and get a proper, advice and recommendations." And they are, in fact, there's something funny that happened when I was at AUT last week. There, we were sitting in the cafe and having a discussion, and so around 2 or 3 tables away, I saw this girl who caught my eye, and I kind of gave her a smile, and so she sat down there and she wouldn't move, and I was going on continuing to have this discussion with these 2 senior managers, and Mary was here to my left or right, and so we were going on, and this girl every once in a while would look at me and keep smiling. I had to smile back, and I thought it was one of our AJV students who was there waiting to, say hello to us. So after 10, 15 minutes, that the discussion got over. So I got up, I excused myself, and I went up to meet her, and I forget her name, but she did introduce herself. And I said, "Hi, are you an AJV student?" She said, "No, I'm not, but one of your AJV students is a very good friend of mine." And she said something nice. She said, I feel it's my bad luck that I didn't come to New Zealand through you guys, because my friend tells me all the things that you're doing for them, in terms of advice, networking meetings, and opportunities, and so on and so forth. So I feel a little bad. I said, "So why did you not come to us?" And so she said, "No, no, that's because you guys didn't have an office in Mumbai, and I wanted to go to a company which had an office in Mumbai." And I was like, do you understand how important it is that it's not whether we have an office in Mumbai or not, but whether we are present in New Zealand and whether we are there for you when you call, because the real drama starts after. She says, "Yeah, I'm realizing that now, but it's too late." I said, "Yeah, well, let's see. Going forward, whenever you require some help, give us a call and we will see how we can help you." All right. So, guys, it's not about whether we have an office in Mumbai or Delhi or not, because we are working on it. We will, hopefully set up offices in the new year for sure. But for us, it was never important, because the students, I think the really smart, good ones who see our videos and our live sessions understand that that what Arun says or Mary says or Tulika says in the live sessions is true. Is not whether we have a physical office or not, but whether we are physically present in New Zealand is the more important thing. And I say this over and over again. It is not whether we have a flashy office in every city in India or China or Bangladesh or Pakistan, but whether we have a true, genuine, honest presence in New Zealand after you come here. And if somebody calls us in the middle of the night and gives us a phone call, whether we are there to respond. Yeah, I think that is the important thing, guys and girls. And I think the really smart ones are figuring that out. But some of the other unfortunate ones who want to see an office, they're going and seeing an office in Mumbai or whatever. And once they come to New Zealand, there's no office, there's nobody to talk to, and they're completely lost. Unlike AJB students, they always have somebody to talk to. And this weekend, they're also going to party. The drinks are on us, and they're all going to bring their own pizzas. Okay, cool. All right. Andy Karthik says, greetings, sir. I'm an AGV client. Hi, Andy. Lucky boy. Well done. Right. I'm just going to catch my breath for a moment and read some notes from my team. Rightio. Andy, I have some feedbacks about you as well. Mm. Okay, sorry about that little break. Just catching my breath and giving my poor throat a little bit of a rest. So Andy says, "Greetings, sir. I'm an AGV client. I have applied student visa for Feb 20 intake. I like to understand that when I'm in my post-study work visa, can my wife able to apply for residence visa as a primary applicant if she has met all the eligibility criteria? She has 3.5 years of experience in IT. Great profile, Andy, and I'll tell you what, if you're coming for a post, you haven't mentioned which course, but my team did clarify you're applying for a postgraduate diploma. You know what, Andy? She can on her own apply for on based on her own merit, on her own background, on her own experience. But I think she will need to get, because with only 3.5 years of experience, she will not get the 160 points. But if she is present in New Zealand, whether on a visitor visa during your studies or on a work visa after you finish your studies, and she you get your post study work visa, and then she can come on a work visa. But if you want, you could get her on a visitor visa right now while you're starting your studies. And if she is a smart lady with enough experience in IT, and as I told you, we have a lot of requirement for IT people. It's happened many times in the past that, for our couples and AJB couples, that one of them came to study and the other one with an IT or engineering background came, found a job while the student is still continuing with the studies. The spouse who came on the dependent visa went ahead and applied for residency and got residency. So, Andy, you have two choices. You can bring your wife right now while you're studying on a visitor visa, and she can look for a job based on that visitor visa. And if she finds the job, she can apply independently for an essential skills work visa. And if the salary matches the requirements for a skilled migrant category, she can also apply for the skilled migrant category visa. And you will then become the co-applicant of that particular thing. So my team has shared certain background about you, saying that you're probably looking at getting your wife only once you finish your course and you get into the post-study work visa. That's your call. That's something you and your wife will need to take as a call. But she's got a brilliant profile. So if you can afford to bring her right now, even if it's on a visitor visa, not a bad idea, Andy. But if you just want to wait till you're done with your studies and you want to bring her on a post-study work visa, that's a great plan as well. And okay, cool. So you can enjoy your bachelor food for 1 year here in New Zealand, and then your wife can come and join you. Okay, cool. Right. Okay, okay. Siddiq asks and has shared his number, which looks suspiciously like it's from Dubai, which is increasingly becoming one of our top markets for us guys and girls. So anybody listening from Dubai and those parts of the Middle East, please get in touch with us. We've had tremendous success with our clients from the Middle East, not only in terms of getting them visas successfully to come to New Zealand, but most of them have also successfully settled here in New Zealand. So, any of you people planning to leave the Middle East and come away to a place where there is more certainty of your status as a resident or a citizen, so on and so forth, please get in touch with us, guys and girls, and we would be delighted to work with you. And that's how we can get in touch with us. If you're in India, you can call on that toll free number in India. If you're in New Zealand, you can call on the toll free number in New Zealand, or you can email us on either one of those emails, and we will pick it up and talk to you guys. All right, cool. Sadiq Sadi, what are the scope in New Zealand is what you type, but what is the scope in New Zealand for hotel management students? Very good, Sadiq. This is again quite an often asked question, and New Zealand is a very tourism orientated country, and for us, our largest industry is tourism. And our economy will be in very, very bad trouble if our tourism industry goes down. And how does the tourism industry survive? It has to survive on professionals from the hotel management background. So obviously the scope for hotel management students will be pretty good. So if you're planning to pursue that particular pathway, speak to my team and we will get you over here. All right, cool. Thanks for the Ulan Rewaju Aziz. That's an interesting number. I don't know where it's from. +234. Maybe my team can do a quick Google for me and tell me. Whoa, +234. I have no clue where that's from. But yeah, I've answered Andy's. Okay, there are some more questions, but I'm gonna. Right. Aziz asked, which leaves is master in social work. I will like if my wife to come and do master in social work. I mean, hey, look, we would love for your wife to come here, Aziz, and do a master's in social work because we have, we are a very strong social state and the welfare or a welfare state, and so we require a lot of workers in our social service side of things. We have problems, certain problems like a little bit of addiction with alcohol, a little bit of addiction with methamphetamine, so on and so forth. Like any country, I mean, yeah, we look like paradise, but unfortunately, we are not. We have our little blotches here and there. So social workers is actually a good field to choose because increasingly because New Zealand's population is becoming more and more diverse. Earlier it was just two kinds of people who lived in New Zealand. So there was just the Europeans, and then there was the Maori. So it was very easy to deal with social issues when there was just two clearly, distinctly identified segments of society. Because then the European social workers could talk to people from the European background who had some social issues. Likewise, the Maori social workers could speak to the Maori people suffering with some social issues. But now we're becoming increasingly multicultural, so we'll have problems cropping up in the Chinese community, Indian community, Filipino community, South African community, so on and so forth. So which is why the government would also like to see the diversification of social workers, because eventually they want to have that rapport between the social worker and the person seeking the help as well. So I think it's a good course to consider, Aziz, for your wife. And of course, you can accompany on a spouse work visa if she's going to come for a master. So wait till our team gets in touch with you, and we will take it forward from there. All right, cool. Sumit Taneja says, my wife is an AGV client. She's studying in AUT and want to know what is the scope for masters in research management level 9. Sumit, if your wife is already here already, obviously the decision is already made in terms of what course has to be chosen. So maybe considering that she's already here and already studying, perhaps this question is a little late in the day. But hey, look, bottom line, never a bad choice when you're coming for a master's from a very good university like AUT and in research management. So it's a very nice high level of studies, and I'm certain Sumit that she will end up with a good position going forward and a good scope. For all you know, she might even end up working for the university itself, because again, like I said, diversification needs to occur in various institutions across New Zealand, and they're constantly looking to hire people from different backgrounds. Okay, so overall, I think she will do well. But I'm sorry, I don't know what your wife's name is, but at some point, yeah, we will get in touch with you. All right, cool. Right, Rishikesh says thank you. Cool, answered that. Anand, I think I answered Anand, but Anand is going into the future and saying, suppose I get married after completing my course, shall I take my wife from work? Of course, you should, Ananda, or you'll have serious marital problems if you But anyway, Anand says, I'm an AGV client, self having 7 years experience in supply chain management, planning to take postgraduate diploma in logistics, and very good decision, Anand. Yeah. Masin and MIT Nelson has this course. So suppose I'm choosing an MIT, let me know about Nelson City job part time and SCM related full time job opportunities. The Nelson is very good. It's a very cute city. Quite a lot of our students are already there. Couple of them are extremely helpful. Don't worry about the part time work. There is plenty of part time work across New Zealand, even in the smallest of cities. No problem. Strongly recommend NMIT. Very good institution, good outcomes. And should you get your wife after you complete your course and you get married? Of course, you should, because once you finish your course and you apply for your post study work visa, she would, of course, be eligible for. And we have some people in our team who are absolute experts on the partnership visas. Okay, so don't you worry about it, Mike. We will get you and your wife together whenever you get married. Great. Okay, Rishikesh is again. Okay, I'll just skip some of these questions because I want to keep moving to other people as well. I've already answered Rishikesh and Rem quite a few times, so I think it's not right for two or three people to hog this entire session. So I'll try and move on to other people. So Gurpreet says, Gurpreet Gujral. I think there's something about Gurpreet in my comments from my team as well. Send pending documents. Okay, cool. Right. So, Gurpreet, you obviously are already in touch with our team, which is fantastic. Thank you so much for choosing AJB. We are truly appreciative of smart people like you who choose to work with a good company that's going to take care of you. Hi, Arun. Appreciate the information you provided. It's proven useful. I am Chartered Accountant from ICAI India. Have applied for Masters of Professional Accounting and Waikato. Fantastic choice. Awaiting responses. I'm also looking to see if MBA would be a better choice considering I have 10 years of work experience. Not really, Gurpreet. I would strongly recommend stick to your professional accounting because I don't want you to kind of lose focus from where your core skill is, and your core skill is in the accounting and professional accountancy field. So I would recommend the Masters of Professional Accountancy as definitely a first choice, especially from the Waikato University of Waikato. You'll love the university, you'll love the ambience, and we are right there. HJB is all around you in Hamilton. But so MBA only in a situation where for some reason you're not getting admission into the MPA, which is the Master of Professional Accounting. But please stick to your core subject. That is where you will be able to knock off a good, clear career and then progress towards residency eventually. All right, Gurpreet, hope I've answered your question. So yeah. That's cool. And then my team has also told me. Ah, there it is. Whoa! There you go, guys. Ding, ding, ding. Go ahead. Okay. I shouldn't be doing that silly sound of also saying ting ting with my mouth when I already have a bell in the hand. But that means time's up, and I will have to yeah, keep moving forward. But I will answer a couple of questions which I think I missed. So Shashank Bharti. Shashank Bharti asked, I'm an AGB client planning to do postgraduate diploma in IT level 8, 120 credits. She is doing course worth 120 credits. Can they work full time during all vacations or just summer vacation? I'm an AGB client planning to do, okay. It's getting repeated, that question. Another question, can you put some light on Unitech? Recently, I heard that they're going through an... Okay, the question got repeated a few times. Okay, so anyhow, so here is the answer, Shashank. You can work in anything called scheduled vacation or scheduled vacation. So it actually comes printed on your visa, which says you can work full time during scheduled vacation. The only other people who can work full time continuously is for people who do a master's by research or master's by thesis. But for you, you will have to, at the postgraduate diploma IT level 8, you will have to stick to whatever is a scheduled vacation. That's when you can do full time work. Otherwise, you'll be eligible for 20 hours part time work. And I think your question about Unitech was that you read somewhere that there is some problem with Unitech, and I very elaborately answered this question in one of my live sessions, or I think there might even be a standalone video only on this subject about Unitech, and I think I told very specifically in that not to be bothered too much at what's happening at the highest levels of Unitech, because those issues were at a very, very high level. They had nothing to do with the frontline level of students and delivery of courses and ensuring that everything is going smoothly. And bear in mind, Unitech is not some small silly little college stuck in the corner of Auckland. It is owned and operated by the government of New Zealand, and the government of New Zealand works with a surplus budget, and if required, they will throw in millions of dollars into Unitech and make sure that everything is going well and that none of the students, whether domestic or international, will suffer. In fact, I have a feeling that this whole restructuring of the institutes of technology, where they're now trying to merge all the ITPs and make them into one single large entity called New Zealand Institute of Skills and Training. I think that's what I think it's going to be called, and technology, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So and I think part of it could have also been because there was some issues at Unitech, there were some issues at Wintech, there were certain issues at some other, ITPs. So I think they decided they're going to bring them all together and make it to one nice big entity and have a good, strong management in place. So I don't think you guys should worry too much about it. And so go for any institute of technology in New Zealand is good to go because it's owned and operated by the government of New Zealand. All right, cool. Okay, dokie. Right, I think one last question from Abdul Khadir. And his question is, I'm looking for brother to do bachelor in information technology. How is the scope? Right. So Abdul, I believe my colleague Ruben, who is one of our advisors in AJP, is already in touch with you as well as your brother. And yeah, I think the course is suggesting, which is the Bachelor's of Information Technology, excuse me, is an exact match to the long-term skills shortage list. And as far as IT is concerned, Abdul, we have very good opportunities. I keep saying, I repeat this ad nauseum, and which is IT is the future here in New Zealand. Like there are other subjects as well, but IT is definitely going to rise to the future. So if your brother is going to come here and do a bachelor's, 3 years bachelor's, 3 years, so 3 years bachelor's plus 3 years is 6 years of total stay in New Zealand. That young guy will absolutely do well here while studying, and also after completion, I think he will do really well. And hey, look, don't worry, send your kid brother to us because we are there as the big brothers for all these young people once they land here in New Zealand. All right. All right, guys and girls, fantastic as always. Had a great day, watched some cricket at Seddon Park, went and took pictures of our big board, which is now in Seddon Park. So, friend, this logo is out there now, going internationally every time a match is played at Seddon Park. But felt great to be there. Fantastic weather as well. And lovely to be back on a Monday and doing this. I have a very early morning tomorrow off to Wellington for one last business meeting before I say bye bye to business meetings in 2019. But thanks as always for being part of this live session. Please share it with your family and friends. And if I have not been able to answer some questions, apologies, but our team will pick it up and come back to you, and you can indulge in a one-on-one conversation and information. But if you guys are looking for the best advice and the friendliest advice and the frankest advice about creating a future in New Zealand, AJW. Thank you very much. Good night.